Good morning. It's 11:01, and I'm going to call to order the meeting, the April 16th meeting of the Electric Utility Board of Lubbock Power and Light. The second item on our agenda is, does the board want to make any general announcements not requiring any official action? Does anybody want to say anything? Mr. Mayor, do you want to? Anybody? Nope. Public comment. Nobody wants to talk to us. Okay. If not, we'll go into executive session. We're now going to recess an executive session in accordance with VTCA Government Code 551.086 and 552.133 on competitive matters of LP&L, and VTCA Government Code 551071 seeking the advice of and in consultation with LP&L's attorneys on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Chapter 551 of the Government Code, and seeking advice of its attorneys about pending or contemplated litigation or settlement officers, and third, VTCA Government Code 551.074 to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, and our duties of the public officer and employee, the director of the electric utilities, the chief administrative officer, and general counsel. And there is a quorum of the board present. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Gwen. At this time, there is a quorum for City Council, so we will call into order and then move immediately into executive session. So at this time, City Council will hold an executive session for the purpose of consulting with city staff regarding competitive matters of the public power utilities under Section 551.086 and 552.133 of the Texas Government Code, pending or contemplated litigation or settlement in consultation under Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code, and personnel matters under Section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code. City Council is now in executive session and recess.
It is now 12:33. The Electric Utility Board will now come into open session. The first item of business is to approve the minutes from March 19th, 2024. Mr. Davis, Mr. Wilson, second. Mr. Schultz, seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, no. The motion carries. Number 8, Joel.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you. Thank you, Butch. We, just to start off with, we recently sent a crew to, is Lafayette, wasn't it, Cody? Lafayette, Louisiana, for Lyman's Rodeo. It was American Public Power put on, so it's a national type event. Our guys did very well. We didn't have anybody actually place, but they all did very well, and learning experience, and they're going to live to climb another day. But they really did enjoy themselves. So Eric Garza was the coach. We sent judges, Jerry Prestridge, Jorge Romo, Stephen Hayden, and Britton Garza, excuse me. Our journeyman team was Matthew Burns, Bryce Chapa, and Chase Jackson. And then we sent a few apprentices, Paul Evans, Wesley Butler, Alex Rubio, and Julian Flores. And we also sent our Matt's, I'm going to call her PR person, Tanya Gomez, was down there taking pictures and doing the social media thing. So they did very well. Very proud of them and looking forward to what they can do next year. They're not full-time rodeo people. They got to work for a living, but they put on a pretty good show from everything I heard, so we appreciate them. I want you to mark your calendars for this Thursday is our Lineman Appreciation Day, Day of Recognition. It's going to be at the Civic Center. If you can make it, we'd love to have anybody and everybody there. There will be food if you need more of an enticement, but it's 8:30 to about 10, something like that. So I'd love to see anybody and everybody come out there. You know, we've got some people in the audience today. Madam Chair, is now a good time to take care of that for the certificates? Okay.
recognition is for?
Yeah,
please?
so, we had a really good celebration for the transition from SPP into ERCOT out at the Hill, just recognizing both the previous event back in '21 and the one that we just completed this past December. Had a nice barbecue luncheon and really got to interact with the folks and have a good time. We wanted to make sure that we are taking steps to do the same thing for the folks that were critically important to the transition of getting into the retail market. These folks have been working on this for years and doing just a great job. And hopefully it's a labor of love, but it certainly is a labor for everything that they've been doing. And we're still trying to work on getting everything into a steady state format. Still got some hiccups that we're dealing with, but that's normal with any kind of a big transition that we've done like this. So in talking with our board chair, we thought it'd be a good idea if we could at least issue some certificates of thanks for accomplishment for what these guys and gals have been through. It's really quite a big event. Do you have them?
You want me to come down there with you?
Absolutely.
Okay. Uh-oh, that means that Butch is in charge now.
Don't vote on anything yet. So when I call your name, I want you to do a somersault and come up and don't do that. Seriously. But please come on down and stand up here with us, and if somebody could snap a picture whenever we got everybody up here, that'd be great. First up is William Butler. Yes, sir, please do. Just try to look pretty if you can. Next up is Michael Weingart. This, for the record, is in no particular order. Ashley Bush. Krista Ortiz. Elizabeth Baeza. Viviana Valdez. Laura Gomez. Katie Tumlinson. You got the hard job.
Did you say Savannah? I don't know how to say it. Frere?
Susanna, you're going to have to help me with this, Frere. Is that close enough? Scarlett Valdez.
She's not here.
Not here. Accepting on behalf of Scarlett will be our board chair. Melissa Maldonado.
She's still
She's hard at work. Crystal Brown is not here. Hard at work. Amy Day. How come you're not hard at work?
Her team already got all the bills out for today.
Okay, Camille Powell. Hey, no secrets. Michelle Cook. I got lucky because I thought I had just one left. Belinda Velasquez. I don't know if I want to call this one or not. Amy Sue Sterling.
Just a note, we do have 2 token males in this group.
Well, count Clint, that's 3.
I'm gonna squeeze right past you.
Okay. Come here, Shorty, over here.
Right here, you can stand right
Don't
here.
get right behind it. Is that
Well,
good
if I go
enough?
right behind it, you won't be able to see me.
God is
All
great.
right.
Thank
Good
y'all
job,
so
y'all.
much.
Now, Amy, get back to work. Maybe we should do this every time. That's more fun. That was fun.
That was great. Thank y'all so much for all you do.
We've got 2 folks that want to make announcements. First up is Joe, and then followed by Felix. And then I'll be done.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to introduce a new employee we have. If y'all remember Tanika Thomas, she was my financial analyst. So we hired Mr. Steven Espinoza. So if you want to stand up, Steven. So he started with us a couple of weeks ago. So he has a very good experience. He comes to us from Health Science Center. So he's got a lot of knowledge behind him. So we're happy to have him on board.
Welcome, Stephen. Okay, Felix, you got good news?
Was asked to give an update on the supplier agreement that we entered into a contract last year. So I just wanted to kind of give everybody an update on that. So far, so last fiscal year, we did about 50 quotes, which turned into about 74 purchase orders last year, with about $4.1 million in equipment purchases last year. This fiscal year alone, starting October 1, we've done 18 quotes with 31 purchase orders issued to date at about 1.5 million right now. Since we've been into this agreement, we're looking at about our delivery times have decreased about 3 to 5 weeks. And we want to kind of give everybody an update on that, just to show what's been going on with this agreement that y'all helped get into. It has been a lifesaver, I think, especially last year with the finishing touches to get into ERCOT. So just wanted to give y'all a good heads up on this and where we're at on it. Any questions?
Any questions of Felix? Thank you very much. I think when we did the supplier agreement, we said that we thought we would save some time, and clearly we have.
Yes, ma'am.
And then also, it was always within budget, so thank you for implementing and bringing this to our attention, Felix.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. There's Casey. Come on. Tell us where the money is.
Okay, I'm going to be going through our February financials. So we're going to start with the cash, and you'll notice that we had a decrease in cash of $9.2 million. So if you look at our cash flows, our operating activities had a negative cash flow of $1.4 million. The biggest driver in that is going to be our under collection for January. That's being reflected. In our financing activities, we had a negative cash flow of $7.8 million. About $5 million of that was going to be CIP spending. We'll get a refund in bonds on that of $4 million. That will be reflected in March financials. And then we also had a bond payment of about $2.5 million, and you can see that reflected in our liabilities on the balance sheet under current bonds payable. And then in our investing activities, we had positive cash flow of $246,000. This is just going to be interest income. We didn't have any bond drawdowns in February. Our liabilities decreased a total of $6 million. That's going to be a combination of a decrease in our purchase power cost for February, an increase in our over collection, as well as I told y'all about the payment we made on bonds for the $2.5 million. Gwen, I wanted to tell you I did misspeak last month. So we still do have customer deposits in February. They total $3.7 million. They'll come off our books in March. We did all of our refunds on those in March, so that will be at zero.
That page that showed there were 19,000, it has a value of about 3.5 million?
About 3.7 million.
Okay, great.
Yes.
And that'll just come out of cash reserves?
Yes, so it was, well, it was either refunded by a check or it was put as a credit on the customer's account. So
Okay,
it's
but
either
out
gonna
of our,
get
yeah, but
cash or
ours will be
receivables
down. Okay, thank you.
And so overall, we were down about 2 million in our net position from last month. So moving on to our ratios. With the decrease in cash, our days cash on hand is going to decrease. It went from 196 to 183. We're still well above our 90-day benchmark. Our operating ratio did increase slightly from 0.875 to 0.894. And when we get to the income statement, we did have a decrease in both of our revenues and our expenses, but the decrease in revenues was greater than the decrease in our expenses from last month. And then in our current ratio, we're holding steady from last month at 1.97. Okay, for our income statement, so we should be about 42% of our budget as of February. From February this year compared to February last year, our revenues were lower. We do have a lower rate this year than we did last year. This year it's 13.29. Last year it was 16.44, so we are seeing lower revenues compared to last year. In our departmental expenses, T-cost revenue and ERCOT hold harmless payment, we're coming right in at budget. In our charges for services, we're coming in over budget at 51%, and then in our purchase power, we're still about 20% over budget. And I did tell y'all last month that this year, since it's a transition year, is going to be a little wonky, so I wanted to give y'all a little perspective with some more numbers. So our budget from October to March, when we're still in the purchase power, for purchase power expenses was 101 million. So we're at 78% of that budget as of February. We should meet 100% in March. And then our budget for revenues from October to March was 147. So we're at 82% of that budget. So the remainder of the budget is after we go into the market. Overall, we're coming in under budget for our operating income at 30%. I do anticipate that number coming back up in March. And then lastly, I just wanted to show, this is as of the fiscal year end last year, but that as of yesterday, our 2013 bond, we're done with it. It's going to be paid off, and so it's going to be off of our books. We made that final payment as of yesterday. So I just wanted to give you all an update on that. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Put that slide back up, that past one. I just thought this was interesting for everybody to see the interest rate and when they were issued. So after we paid this one, this was the final 10-year bond, is that correct?
That's correct.
So all the rest of the bonds we have are either 20-year or 30-year bonds?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions on this? I just think this is a nice running total for everybody to see. Thank you so much.
One follow-up on a question that had come up, and that is, so for the bond proceeds that we have left, so we've taken out bonds, we've used up that money for capital projects and such. So we currently have, for bonds that we have been borrowing from, for bond proceeds that we have that we've allocated to projects, those projects are done, so we have funds left over. Right now, that total is about, currently, we have about $9.7 million of bond proceeds that are still left for us to use. We've been using these bond proceeds to longer-term capital projects. So either it's going to be a substation, it could be transmission work, it's going to be that type of work, reconductoring lines. And usually, the principle you're trying to use is what you use those bonds for is you're trying to match the bond life to the useful life of the asset you're working with. So that's why you would never take a 30-year bond and apply it to 15-year meters. You would apply it to like a 30-year, 40-year substation, or you might apply it to reconductor work that would last a long time. So that's what you're trying to match it to. So the $9.7 million that we have left are some funds from 2017 and 18. The bulk of it is from 2021 bond and 22 bond. And we're going to look to use that up in the next year to a year and a half. And what that does for us is it allows us to postpone or defer cash-funded capital by using up the balance of these bonds, and that continues to give you even a little more flexibility for cash-funded capital work that's down the line. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. It's on page 19. You'll see the detail of that in your budget book. But I just wanted to give you a status update on where we're at with those bond proceeds and what we've got left. We made an assumption in our strategic plan when I brought that up. At that time, we had about $12 million that are left, and we've used up subsequently about a little over $2.5 million of that since then. Any questions from the board on bond proceeds?
Thank you, that's very helpful
Perfect.
on page 19, if anybody wants to look at it.
Okay.
Our hero that got it done with your
Well,
folks.
I was asked to come up today and sing, so. No, I won't. You don't want that, Dan, I promise you. All right. Retail competition. I'm proud to say that as of now, we're through with transitioning all of our customers over to retail competition. They are now with their retail electric provider. We are just a wires company for them, and they are getting, most of them now are getting their bill. I believe we've sent out, we've completed 62,000 bills that have gone out, so it's about half, a little over half of what we'll be sending. So everything's going good. Everything seems to be fitting the way it's supposed to. So what you see here is just wanted you to see that all of the count by retailer, but what's happening is you can see there's 42 reps on this page, and every one of them have at least one customer. So that's that's good. We break it down by residential customers and commercial customers, and you can see there what they are. 94,550 residential customers, 14,797 for commercial customers, for a total of 109,347. So anyway, that's the breakdown of the retailers. Through yesterday, we had 62,000 bills. To be honest with you, some of the reps right now don't have as sophisticated a system as we do. I mean, I know that's hard to believe, but that's true. We really have a system that goes into very much detail, like decimals. We go 5 decimals past kilowatt hour in kilowatt hours. We go 5 decimals to the right. A lot of them, they don't want decimals at all. They can't handle them. So that's causing us a little bit of problem, but, we're working with them, getting it all worked out. So, that will continue to go as usual. Right now, something that's very, very important to us is our meter reading read rates. We want our read rate to be up around 98%, and yesterday it was at 97.22%, so we're just right there real close. That's our goal. That's where we want to at least be at 98, so we're working to keep it there. Blair and his group do a fantastic job with the meter read rates, with the AMI meters and everything, so we appreciate everything they do for us. Let's see. Right now, we're in the middle of what we call Texas Set. We'll be doing a upgrade on that, an update in the software. It goes from like Texas Set 3.0 to Texas Set 5.0, and all that is, it's just the codes that we talk to ERCOT and the retail electric providers by. It's like, an 810, for instance. Michael, don't say anything if I'm wrong. An 810 is like where we send them the bill. We send the rep the bill. An 867 is where we're sending them the meter reads, that all those decimals and things. So that's just, they all have numbers, and there's a sheet this long of those numbers. So anyway, that's what's happening. So we'll be doing that as an update. And then the next thing that we'll be doing and we'll be coming to you for will be probably in May or June, will be coming for approval to fund something called Smart Meter Texas. And that's basically a means to where all of the information from the meter data is captured. And not only we can use that, the customers can use that, the reps, the third-party administrators, whatever. There's a lot of things that's two-way talking with these meters. So some of the things they can, if you have a thermostat in there, they can control your thermostat if it gets to that point. But anyway, that's what Smart Meter Texas does. It allows for all that to happen. I'm sorry. Of course, I got on the wrong page. And we'll be bringing Smart Meter Texas to you probably in May or June. So we'll be having that so we can get up to date and get up to speed on everything we're doing. Any questions on retail competition, billing, anything that's going on?
Madam Chair, I do have a question. Is there, when you see a retailer that only has 1 or 5 or 7, are these people going to leave Lubbock?
No. Probably what happened to that, Dr. Ramirez, is they came in for a specific customer. You know, they have a specific customer that they serve, and like they may have an agreement, that customer may have an agreement, nationwide agreement with that company. So they come in, they serve that one customer, and that's it. They really don't want to serve anybody else. So that's what happens a lot of times. Sure. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question. Are you going to give us an update on the call center operation as far as how we're handling calls?
I can. Right now, we had, for the month of March, we had 29,796 calls come in. February was about 37,000, so they've come down about 8,000 calls. They're going down now daily, so it's not as heavy as it was with the calls. We're still getting some calls saying, you know, I haven't heard from my retailer. Do you know who that is? And we give them who their retailer is and have a way to contact the retail, like the email I sent you today with that church.
Okay.
So that is happening a lot. We just, you know, that takes up a lot of time. But, I mean, it's well worthwhile. But anyway, we give them the information they go on. I really feel the more we go out, the less that will be, and that's not going to stop, but the less it will be. So we're, you know, right now we're averaging 1,490 calls a day. We have about 15 people on the phone. So you can tell about...
So has our call waiting gone down?
Call waiting?
Mm-hmm.
No, they still go there.
Okay.
So they still go to call waiting. A lot of them, Dr. Fields, is to where they call in, they'll hang up and call back again. Mm-hmm. So that's where a lot of these calls double up. But that's not all of it. But yes, I mean, it's okay. We'll keep working toward it. We'll go toward more detail with the Customer Engagement Committee on May 14th. So we'll definitely get into that. Let's see, the average hold time, I can tell you, is 8 minutes. So that tells you right there that they are hanging up and then calling back. So it's 8 minutes average hold time. Lobby customers for, in March, we had 1,971 lobby customers that wanted face-to-face contact. And in February, we had 2,800. So those have even decreased some. So that's good. We have 4 ladies up front that 4 CSRs if they come in and talk to or pay their bills. You know, there's a lot of them just come in to use the kiosk to pay the bills. But other than that, that's about it. If it's all right, we have like the Customer Engagement Committee. I think we're going to hold another meeting if Dr. Fields is good with this on May 14th. From 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on the second floor here. So anyway, you might put that on your calendar. At our last meeting, Dr. Fields challenged us to have a ranking of what we need to be doing at the service center to handle customer calls, to provide better customer service as far as calling. So anyway, we'll have all that available. We are doing some more calls on AI, so we'll be doing, I know we have 2 lined up this week to take a look at. So there's a lot of things we're looking at as far as chat GPT, conversational AI, you know, a lot of things we can do. But anyway, we're taking a look at all that.
Thank you.
Sure. Any other questions? Gosh, I'm not sure where this goes now. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Glenn, I had a question on the financial statements.
Well, I'm on them, so.
You look very handsome in your tie and suit.
Thank
Blair.
you, ma'am. My boss tells me I gotta dress up once a month, so. I'm gonna put it on the black screen. So there we go. So number 11 is we brought before you a resolution to increase the not to exceed amount for Black and Veatch. They are working on engineering for some of our substations, part of Luke's area of expertise. So we increased it $730,000 and extended the term another 2 years. Any questions?
Any questions? Do I hear a motion then to authorize us to enter to that, execute a second amendment to the Black and Veatch, not to exceed an amount of $3,237,000?
So moved.
Mr. Davis makes the motion, Mr. Wilson seconds. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you, Blair. And number 12, another resolution. Chris, is that you? Good.
Quick statement, staff recommends you approve the resolution. But if you'd like more information, this is a new amendment, or a new agreement, but it's not an amendment. This is a agreement we have with one of our long-term providers of one of, you've heard me call our super platforms in technology. And Clint mentioned that we have smart meters, our AMI system, and I'm pleased to tell you we have a smart geographic information system with Schneider Electric Systems. And this new agreement is with an existing vendor, like I said, and it's kind of a turnkey, so there's not separate agreements. We own the software. This allows us to seek support from the vendor and all the additions that we're adding to the software. In your backup, you'll note there that we have about 20 editors to this software with over 80 to 100 viewers, employees who are actually using and consuming this data. This is our GIS system that maps where all of our poles, all of our wires, transformer substations are throughout our system, and it's vital to our transmission and distribution operations department.
So moved.
Mr. Fields made the motion. Second by Mr. Schultz. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. The motion carries. So, Chris, Mr. Ivy, does that finish us for the day? And then one thing I think, Chris, you were going to do, we have a bunch of software programs, and you're going to kind of be going through and seeing how they fit together and what we need and all of that. That's one of the projects on your plate, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. And I'm pleased to announce to you that you approved us creating a new cost center, a new department in LP&L called Performance Improvement. There is a director there that leads a team of analysts, and they're looking at LP&L as a whole and looking for areas where we can improve and/or development certain areas. And one of them deals specifically with technology, looking at all of our platforms, all of our super technology platforms, all the ancillary platforms that make us work, and looking to see how we can gain some efficiencies there, how they can communicate better and share data with each other so that we're not logging in and out of systems and using multiple platforms. And I don't believe this has been done on an enterprise-wide level since I've been here. No, so I've identified the super platforms that are critical we have to have, but there's a lot more involved. And excuse me, we want them to be able to communicate with each other. And so this performance improvement department, that's one of the things that they're looking at. And I will have a kind of initial assessment for you.
Great. Thank you very much. I just wanted the board to know that that's an ongoing, and Chris is the point person. So with no further business, we are adjourned, and thank the board so much for coming and your attendance and your input.